Welcome back to FPL Spad, your best place to find FPL content for 23-24 season. My name is Spad. Today, I'm going to share with you my transfer watch list for game week 7. In that, I'm going to tell you which ones are great transfers, which transfers are lucrative, which transfers are gambles, and which transfers that we need to avoid from the top transfers done so far in the game week. If you like my content, please like and subscribe to my channel for future FPL content. Now let me show you my transfer watch list. So first, let's have a look at last week's transfer watch list and see how I did with my predictions. In the great transfers, we had two that hit on the nail, Trippier and Salah. Trippier got 18 points, the highest of any FPL player last week. So in my opinion, that was a great transfer and it's probably a great transfer carrying on this game week. But I had two that weren't great. In the end, Alvarez, because Rodri got sent off, so he came off early in the game, not allowing him to get goal or assist in the remaining minutes of the match. And Mubu did not have the greatest game, neither did Brentford as a whole. Hopefully that changes in the next game week. And in the gamble section was a complete gamble. None of them made points. So that was really a gambling option. Like hopefully none of you guys gambled with those players because they were real gambles. I took in the lucrative section, players made a profit. Botman went up by 0.2. Eduardo went by 0.1. Gusto went by 0.1 as well, but he got sent off in the last game. So expect his price to be coming down now, as people will be looking to take him out, as he's got I think it's a 1 match ban or 3 match ban. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think it's a 1 match ban. I'm doing Oriola has made a 0.1 increase as well yesterday. So that was another lucrative transfer that I was on the nail about. Botman made the 12 points as well in the last game. So that was another plus for lucrative transfer. In the avoids, I took 2 L's with Son and Mitoma. Mitoma came off the bench to get 2 goals out of nowhere. And Son got 2 goals in the derby game against Arsenal. I didn't expect him to get those 2 goals, but he did. And Tottenham got the draw. The next game up for Son is Liverpool as well, which is another hard game. It's the reason why he was avoided last week for me, and most likely a gamble for next week. So now let's get on with the transfer watch list for this game week. And first up, we have Walker. His price has gone up to 5.3. He's got an away game at Wolves. He is, in my opinion, the nailed-on starter in Man City's defense out of all the defenders they have. And from what it looks like from the games I'll be watching, they're attacking more from the right-hand side, from his side, and not from the left-hand side. So I expect him to get more assists in the coming game weeks ahead. So in my opinion, he's a great transfer to bring in. Next up, for lucrative transfer, we have Tawaski. His price is at 4.5 million at the moment, and his game up is next against Luton at home. In my opinion, he's a very reliable player to bring in at the moment. He's more likely to get a goal here and there from set pieces, where Everton like to play the Sean Dyche way and get set piece goals. And not even that, Luton is a good game at home. They've got a little bit of better fixtures coming up. They've got a result against Brentford the other day, which was a complete surprise to me. They won 3-1. Brentford were not really good that game, so I expect that to change hopefully soon. But with Tawaski, I expect a lot of people to start bringing him in after the Luton game, so his price will be going up. So get on it before everybody else. Next up, we have a gamble transfer in Morris for Luton. His price is at 5.5, and he's got 2 games this week, Everton away and Burnley at home. In my opinion, he's a gamble because it's not guaranteed that he will produce points. Their next game is Everton at home away, where Everton just had a good victory at Brentford, so they'll be more on it with more belief that they can get another win at home at Goodison Park. So in my opinion, he's a gamble because Burnley will be as well trying to get their first win of the season as well. So no good transfer in my opinion, a gamble one. Next up, Fulham Void, we have Leno, the keeper for Fulham. His price has gone up to 4.6 now. They got a home game against Chelsea. At the moment, he's the most top scoring keeper at the moment in the Premier League. Reason being he's an avoid for me is because they've got hard sell fixture list coming up in the coming game weeks. So in my opinion, should avoid him at the moment. He's not going to get many clean sheets. He might be getting save points, but I do not expect him to get any more clean sheets in the coming game weeks. Next up, we have a great transfer in Trippier. His price has gone up now to 6.6 million, and they got a home game against Burnley after they won 8-0 against Sheffield United away, where Trippier got 3 assists. He got 18 points in the end in that game, the highest in FPL for that game week. In my opinion, yet again, a great transfer to bring in. Newcastle have got a great fixture list lined up for them, where Trippier will be getting a lot of attacking returns, in my opinion. So he is a great transfer. Next up, we have 2 lucrative transfers in Dan Burn and Botman. Botman was my lucrative transfer last week. His price has gone up to 4.7 million now. They got a home game against Burnley, both of them. Expect them to get clean sheets again in that game and maybe hopefully get some attacking returns like they did last week. Reason being Botman's in there because I reckon people will still be bringing Botman in and his price to continue to rise. And Dan Burn, as Botman's price goes up, people who are strapped for cash will start bringing in Dan Burn. So his price will eventually start going up as well. So in my opinion, both these players are lucrative transfers to bring in. Next up, we have Alvarez as a gamble transfer this week. He's been one of my great transfers for a long time now. If you bought him in early, great. But if you bought him in last week, 1.1 million people did, and they only got 1 point for him. So I know you're probably a lot disappointed, but if you already have him, then fair dues, you keep him in your team. But I will not be bringing him in this game week if you don't already have him. Because Man City do have some hard fixtures coming up. They do have 2 away games on the trot. One against Wolves and then against Arsenal. And there could be some rotation. That could be a play to part. But in my opinion, he's a gamble at the moment because his price is gone up to 7 million unless you got in there beforehand. So in my opinion, a gamble transfer. Next up, we have Neto for Wolves. His price has gone up to 5.6 and they go a home game against Man City at home. In my opinion, he's a gamble reason being because Wolves have got some very hard games coming up now after the good set of fixture list they had. And Neto has made a lot of points so far in the previous game weeks. So the reason being why people have started bringing him in. But in my opinion, he's an avoid for the fixture list that they have coming up for them. Next up, we have for great transfer, Darwin Núñez. He's got a game against Tottenham away. The reason why he's a great transfer now for me is because they're looking like he's nailed his position down. Reason being I say that is because they played on Thursday where he started with Diaz, and then I expected rotation on Sunday, but they started again. So to me, that is nailing down his first team spot for Liverpool as the number 9, and Jota and Gakpo will be playing second fiddle to Diaz and Núñez. So in my opinion, he's a great transfer to bring in. He has the best returns for minutes at the moment. So he's a great transfer to bring in. Next up, we have a gamble transfer in Maddison. His price is at 7.9 million. Got a home game against Liverpool. Reason why he's a gamble is because we don't know about his injury that he occurred in the Arsenal game. Until we get more news towards deadline, I'll hold out on getting him. Because if he's injured to miss that game, then we can hold out to not get him this week. And hopefully next week he should be fine. And then you can bring him in for the Luton game instead. But if he's injured, don't bring him in for now. Or unless you're looking to gamble, where he will come on maybe and get an assist or goal. But in my opinion, he's a gamble. Next up, we have James Ward-Prowse. Cost is 6.2 million. His price has gone up by 0.2, and he's got a home game against Sheffield United. He blanked against Liverpool in last game week, which was not a surprise. But Sheffield United at home is looking like a great fixture list for him to get points. But the games after that, no. So that's the reason why he's going to avoid for me. Because they've got some hard fixtures coming up after the Sheffield United home game. And they've got Europa games in there as well. So where rotation could play a factor for the Prem games because of Europa. So in my opinion, he's an avoid. Next up, again this week, Mitoma is an avoid for me again. Reason being, rotation. They're in the Carabao Cup, which they're playing tomorrow. Then they're in Europa as well. He only came on the second half of the last Premier League game and got 2 goals, which in my opinion was kind of lucky, but he didn't even start. He came on and got 2 goals. So it's a risk with him. because there's tons of players at Brighton right now, and rotation is a real factor for Brighton. So in my opinion, you should avoid him. Next up, we have another gamble in Gordon. His price at 5.6 million. He will get probably more game minutes at the moment, looking like it, with Harvey Barnes out injured. We don't know the full extent of his injury at the moment. Once we do, we'll know how many minutes Gordon will probably get. They've got Burnley at home and then great set of fixtures to come up. Only reason why he's a gamble is minute risk. I don't know if he'll, even with Harvey Barnes injured, that he's not guaranteed to start. Eddie Howe might play Isak on the left as he has done in the past season. So for me, for that reason only, he's a gamble. Next up, we have a lucrative transfer in Cash. After all the other defenders that are being bought in, Cash has been looked at the most because Villa have got a nice sort of fixture list coming up after the Brighton game at home. His price is at 4.7 million, and that went up a week ago, I think. So his price should continue to increase as people looking to bring him in this week, but especially after this game week, where people will be looking to bring him in. So you need to get on the bandwagon before that. So in my opinion, he's a great transfer to bring in because his price will keep going up. And once again, for a great transfer for 2 weeks in a row, Mo Salah, still priced at 12.5 million. He's got an away game at Spurs and then a home game for Brighton, and then a bunch of easy games after that. He's been the most consistent FPL player midfielder so far, returning in every week. He got 2 double-digit holds in a row, 10 points each, and I expect him to get that again by just getting a goal or maybe an assist or two against Tottenham, as he's been showing great form, like he's his old self again. So in my opinion, he's a great transfer to bring in. So let's review this transfer watch list. In my opinion, the great transfers, every single one of them is more or less essential to bring in, especially Trippier, because I just expect him to get a lot of attacking returns. Nunes, if you need a new striker, if Jackson's failed you, or you think one of your other strikers is not doing it for you, Nunes is a great option in my opinion, as his minutes look like certain at the moment as he's a starting player. Salah, if you've got the money and you only have to do a -4 hit, then you should be thinking about bringing him in as well. And Walker is a great option for Man City defender and looking like he might be getting attacking returns this season. And then in the gamble section, in my opinion, you could gamble with Gordon, as from the looks of it, Barnes will be out and Gordon will be starting. But we just don't know how many minutes he'll get in the end. But that is a gamble. Maddison as well, with his injury scare, another gamble. Alvarez, maybe rotation, or just because his price has gone up so much now, with everyone's got him at the moment, you might be looking for a different differential now. He was a differential a couple of weeks ago, not anymore. And Morris, just to bring in a player for 1 game week, doesn't really make sense to me. So I would not gamble with him. Any of the lucrative transfers you want to bring in, go for it. If you've got any free transfers you want to do that doesn't really affect your team, these players are perfect for that. And certainly avoid all the voids. In my opinion, don't buy them. So that's it for this transfer watch list. I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. If you have a different opinion to me, please leave a comment on the video. I might mispronounce some player names, but I hope you understood what I meant. Thank you again for watching my video. Please like and subscribe for more FPL content in the future. Thank you again. See you next time. See ya!